Have you ever wondered about the nature of human conditioning and freedom? Picture an ancient city buzzing with life. Amidst the hustle and bustle, a diverse crowd gathers around a single figure, the Buddha. A sense of anticipation fills the air as the Buddha, sensing the collective quest for understanding, prepares to share a profound tale, a story that would echo through time, shedding light on the intricate dance between human conditioning and the quest for freedom. And so, the Buddha began to share the story of the elephant and the chain. In a distant land, the Buddha began, there lived an elephant, a magnificent creature with strength that could uproot trees and wisdom that mirrored the depth of its eyes. This elephant, a symbol of grandeur and might, was paradoxically held captive by a small, seemingly insignificant chain. Imagine that for a moment. A creature of such formidable power, restrained by a thin, frail chain. This chain wasn't a massive, unyielding shackle, but a thin link, barely capable of restraining a creature of such immense strength. Yet this chain was perceived as an insurmountable barrier, a limit that the elephant had been conditioned to believe it could not break from a very young age. This elephant, despite the raw power it possessed, was shackled not by the physical chain that bound it, but by the belief that it was bound. This belief was ingrained into the elephant from its youth, when it was weaker, smaller, and the chain was indeed a restraint. As the elephant grew, the physical chain didn't change, but the elephant's perception of it did. The elephant's mind was conditioned to see the chain as an unbreakable bond, a limit that it could not surpass. The irony here is poignant. The elephant's power had grown manifold, its might far surpassing the frail chain that tethered it. Yet the belief in the chain's power over it was so deeply ingrained that the elephant remained a captive. The physical chain was no longer a real restraint. The real bondage was the elephant's conditioned belief in its own captivity. As the elephant grew, its strength increased manifold, yet the perception of the limiting chain persisted. The conditioned belief in its own captivity became a more formidable restraint than the chain itself. The Buddha concluded. And so, we see that the elephant's captivity was not due to the physical chain, but the mental chains woven by years of conditioning. A powerful reminder that often, the barriers we perceive are merely illusions of our own making. Just like the elephant, the Buddha continued, humans too are bound by the chains of their conditioned minds. This imagery, as striking as it is, paints a vivid picture of the human condition. We are, in many ways, like the elephant tied by a chain, limited not by our actual circumstances, but by our beliefs about those circumstances. We are all born into a world already in motion, a world filled with customs, traditions, and norms. These social constructs, while helpful in creating order, can also become chains that restrict our perceptions and limit our possibilities. They shape our habits, our desires, our attachments. They dictate what we should value, what we should aspire to, and even what we should fear. We are conditioned to fit into societal molds, to conform to expectations, to follow the well-trodden path. We are taught to value certain things and disregard others, to desire certain outcomes and fear others. Over time, these teachings become so ingrained that they seem as natural and inevitable as the rising and setting of the sun. Yet, just as the elephant could shatter the chain with a mere flick of its trunk, so too can we break free from our mental chains. The first step is recognizing these chains for what they are, not unchangeable truths, but conditioned beliefs. The Buddha paused, allowing the gravity of his words to settle among the assembly. The story of the elephant and the chain wasn't just a fable. It was a mirror, reflecting the inner landscape of every individual. The liberating truth, the Buddha proclaimed, is that the chain, the limitations we perceive, is an illusion. Like a breath of fresh air, his words swept through the minds of the audience, revealing the potential for liberation that lay within their grasp. It's not the external chains that bind us, but the internal ones we construct through our beliefs and perceptions. The Buddha revealed the path to freedom, a journey of self-realization. It's about acknowledging our true nature, embracing our innate wisdom, and harnessing our inherent strength. It's about breaking free from the chains of our conditioned existence, the illusory limitations that prevent us from reaching our full potential. Just as the elephant could shatter the feeble chain with a mere tug, we too can liberate ourselves by realizing our boundless nature. The story of the elephant and the chain became a timeless metaphor for the human journey towards self-realization and liberation. It served as a reminder that, like the elephant, individuals carry within them the power to transcend the illusions that limit their true potential and to embrace the freedom that comes with awakening to their innate wisdom and strength.